Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey guys, I want to give a big shout out here to a fellow Twitch streamer. Yes, the reason why I'm giving this shout out is because we will be going on Twitch, the Twitch platform, this upcoming August 4th. So check us out next week, August 4th, which is a Wednesday, guys. Okay? I want to give a big shout out not only to Twitch, but an awesome Twitch streamer. Probably the best gaming stream on Twitch, Dexia82. Yes, check him out, guys. Dexia. That's LISDEXIA 82. Dexia82. Probably the best damn Twitch streamer on Twitch. Got great views, great content, knows his stuff, guys. So check him out there, Dexia82. Check him out on Twitch.
Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday's episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, guys. I am now happy to say that we are now on a 5-day platform of this podcast. I never knew when we were going to go back. I knew eventually we were going to go back. It's just been kind of crazy lately, guys, with my other line of work I do. I work in a distribution warehouse, so it's been kind of crazy, kind of chaotic, kind of nutty, so to speak. But we are back, ladies and gentlemen, on a 5-day platform. Yes, we are back. I was going to wait, to be honest with you, I was going to wait until like next week to start off the 5-day platform. But I could not wait anymore, guys. I had to drop some truth bombs here on the show, and I'm going to be getting to those truth bombs, so to speak. Guys, I want to bring in some topics here on the show, what we're going to be talking about on the show. If anybody listened to my last night's podcast, got into the Pegasus scenario, and I'm very, very surprised on why a lot of shows aren't talking about it. Even some conservative podcast shows. Just a few. To mention, I know Bongino's talking about it. Hannity's talking about it. Laura Ingraham. There's just a few that are talking about it. But are we seeing it from crooked CNN? Are we seeing it from MSNBC? Are we seeing it from those type of big platform networks? Hell no, we're not seeing it. No, they're talking about the vaccinations. They're talking about the woke Olympics. Right? Get in there, Mike. Yeah, they're talking about the Olympics. They're talking about Cuba. They're talking about the same stupid shit that they've been talking about for weeks. They were not talking about the main type of topics that should be talked about. But I want to bring out some truth bombs here on the show today. Some stuff that should be talked about. I want to get into this topic here. Literally, GOPs. And this is, I think this is only going to be exclusive here on the Patriot Angle podcast. Very, very few avenues of networks pretty much bringing this in. GOP lawmakers blast Biden's coronavirus surrender Americans. Have had enough of Biden and Fauci's fake science. Yeah, Yeah, I had enough of it too. I think we all had enough of this crap. Because they go from one scenario to the next. Here's a truth bomb here on the Patriot Angle podcast. Several Republican politicians have blasted the Biden administration for surrendering to more Chinese coronavirus mandates after the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, otherwise known as CDC, announced it is now recommending vaccinated individuals mask up in certain surroundings. What kind of crap is that? American people literally blasting it, saying they had enough of it. It's fake science. It's fake crap. Literally. On Tuesday, folks, earlier today, Biden's CDC backtracked on a previous guidance, drastically moderating or modifying its position by recommending vaccinated individuals. They're saying to wear a mask in certain settings. Yes, the Biden White House has ultimately unable to explain in talking points after weeks of health officials pitching vaccines. Yes, folks, they've been pitching this crap for weeks as a primary way for the U.S. to return to pre-pandemic normalcy. Yes, they want to go back to the pre-March through June of 2020 scenario. And I quote, and this is what they're saying, folks, if vaccines work, right, then why do people who have the vaccine need to now wear masks? Yes, Peter Ducey of Fox News asked the White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki on why are they now saying that people need to wear masks even if they're vaccinated. The CDC recommending masks for vaccinated people is going to take us right back to the way of the heavy hand of government dealt with COVID in the first place. Check this out, guys.
Hey, I want to take a brief moment to talk about what it looks like. We're hearing from the CDC that they're going to recommend masking again. I'm afraid we're going to roll right back into the way the heavy hand of government dealt with COVID in the first place. And my observation is when you put the task of businesses in Main Street, they did everything to keep their employees and customers safe. Now we're talking about some of the failed policies that put our economy in a hurt. Blue states asked for a bailout from the federal government on account of it, and it looks like we're looping right back to it. I'm going to be a voice for saying, hey, let this be solved at the grassroots level. Let local governments and businesses deal with it. There was no data that showed that it worked with that oppressive heavy hand of government to begin with. Be respectful of the disease. Exercise individual responsibility. That's the key. No more mandates and masking and things that didn't work from the get-go unless it makes common sense to do so.
Bless your heart, Senator Mike Braun. I applaud this man. I applaud this man. Be right back after these words, guys. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch the dial. Don't turn it off. Got a lot more heated topics on the show. Don't go anywhere. Patriot Unfiltered.
On the CDC guidance, why did the president say, if you've been vaccinated, you no longer need to wear a mask? Let me repeat, if you are fully vaccinated, you no longer need to wear a mask, if it was possible that that was going to turn out not to be true.
Well, Peter, I think we're all dealing with an evolving virus where there's no playbook and no historic precedent. And what the American people should feel confident in is that we are going to continue to be guided by science, look at public health data in order to provide new guidance if it's needed to save lives, protect the American people. When he made those comments back in May, we were dealing with a very different strain of the virus than we are today. And Delta is more transmissible. It's spreading much more quickly. It was nearly non-existent in the United States back in May.
And so my last one would be, you guys have been saying this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. If that is coming from the CDC, is the president satisfied with the leadership at the CDC right now?
The president is satisfied with the fact that they are continuing to look at public health data and provide public health guidance to the American public about how they can protect their lives and the lives of loved ones around them.
And if it's a pandemic of the unvaccinated still, then why do vaccinated people need to put the masks back on?
Well, Peter, first of all, I would say again, just to go back to this chart, which I will handily point to again, if you are vaccinated, it can save your life. And I think the clear data shows that this pandemic is killing, is hospitalizing, is making people very sick who are not vaccinated. That still continues to be the case, regardless of what the mask guidance looks like.
Vaccines work, which this sign says that they do. Then why do people who have had the vaccine need to now wear masks, the same as people who have not had it?
Because the public health leaders in our administration have made the determination based on data that is a way to make sure they're protected, their loved ones are protected, and that's an extra step given the transmissibility of the virus that they're advising people to take.
What? Come again?
That's right, Wendy. We all need to wear a mask, metaphorically speaking.
I mean, that sounds like a clip from, sorry I didn't have to go there. This is from The Mask, right? The Jim Carrey flick. Was it back in the late 90s? I forgot what freaking year or era that movie came out. But folks, this is a public relations disaster. I mean, clearly, folks, we're seeing the Biden team. Literally, they can't explain why the CDC is bringing back the masks. You had a reporter in the White House press room literally pressing to the secretary there, the press secretary, Jen Psaki, on why people need to still wear masks or why they should be wearing masks if they're fully vaccinated. Folks, this Biden team, they don't even understand why the CDC is bringing it back in the first place. They can't even explain to the general public, let alone explain to the press there in the White House why people need to wear masks. Literally. It's because public health leaders in our administration have made a determination based on data that is a way to make sure that they're protected, their loved ones are protected, and that's an extra step giving the transmissibility, I'm quoting her words, folks, of the virus that they're advising people to take. What? Folks, these are vaccinated people. So if they're vaccinated people, why the hell are they wearing masks? Or why do they have to wear a mask? Does this CDC even understand the science behind it? Oh, it's based on data, according to the press secretary, Jen Psaki. Folks, you've been pushing the vaccination for months. Literally, this administration has, right? Pushing this vaccination for months. Here's the truth bomb coming out of it. If these people are vaccinated, why the hell do they have to wear masks, right? The vaccine was developed so they didn't have to wear a mask, right? According to the CDC, according to the top scientists of the CDC centers there, mainly big ones of where I live, right here in Atlanta, Georgia, right down the road from where I live. Yeah, they developed these vaccines so people didn't have to wear a mask. Oh, according to their data, they've been wrong from the get-go. Now they have to go back to phase 1 and wear masks. And what are they going to say to the people now? Sorry, folks. We know you're vaccinated, but we don't trust the data behind the actual science of it, because this Delta variant is more stronger than the vaccine that we developed. Or maybe the science is bullshit, folks. And like I've been saying from the get-go, these masks that they've been having people wear for a year and, about a year and a half now, has been clearly shown to be bullshit. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. The mask, the blue surgical mask that people seem to be wearing, folks, it's not designed for particles of spit and saliva and sneezes and coughs. It's designed for surgery. Surgeons wear these type of masks in operation rooms and hospitals and clinics. It's designed for another droplet, mainly for blood. So when the surgeon is operating on you, splatters of blood don't spill in his face. What the hell is... Oh, boy. We're trusting a CDC private sector of an agency, clearly, folks, that have no affiliation with the federal government to begin with. I just want to let everybody know that the CDC is not a federal agency. It's a private sector of an agency. Since when do we give our faith, our trust behind this agency? This agency is clearly running the country here on whether we can not wear a mask or wear a mask to begin with, whether we have to be vaccinated or not vaccinated. I mean, literally, the federal government is putting the trust behind this agency. And they've been putting the trust behind this agency since, February, March of 2020? The hell is going on? What is going on? Here's some sick crap coming out of The View. I don't even watch this show, folks. Sick, demented crap. Now the cast of The View, which is a liberal show in its own aspect, is saying the next step is threats for unvaccinated. They are going... oh, boy. Oh, boy. I want to plug into the show here. Folks, I'm getting heated up, as you can see. The next step is threats for unvaccinated. They are taking away my freedom not to get sick. Literally. I thought it's up to you, the American citizen, whether you want to live a healthy life or an unhealthy lifestyle. Check this out, guys. This is Joe Biar. I can never pronounce her last name. Literally telling her co-host on Tuesday's ABC's The View that the next step to getting more Americans vaccinated against the coronavirus is to make threats that they will not be able to go to public places like movie theaters, restaurants, and museums if they're not vaccinated. This is literally what's going on in our country, folks. Literally. Our democracy is being ripped apart by liberal dictators and machines and people like the people of The View. Check this out.
It's about this, Joy. First of all, I hate to give her any attention, but does Marjorie Taylor Greene have the most limited vocabulary you've ever heard in a congresswoman? She constantly is equating her big problem with wearing a mask or getting a totally safe vaccine with the Holocaust and racism and slavery.
It's our God-given right, lady.
I mean, really. So, besides that, I just saw this morning that the CDC is now saying that even vaccinated people should be wearing masks indoors, which I have been doing when I go to the supermarket, etc. Now, here's the thing about mandates. We've given them lottery tickets. We've given people incentives all over the place. Football tickets, Krispy Kremes. In West Virginia, they offered to give them a gun. Apparently, that's the only shot that they're scared of is the vaccine, not getting actually shot. So bribery didn't work, okay? So the next step has to be what we might look at as threats. You're not going to be able to go into a restaurant unless you're vaccinated. You're not going to be able to go into a museum. You're not going to be able to go into a theater. In France, President Macron has already made this a mandate, and as of the past 24 hours, 1.3 million people have signed up. He didn't even put it into effect. He just said he's going to do it, and 1.3 million people have signed up. Just the idea that you are going to lose your so-called freedom is scaring people. By the way, one more small thing. Why is their freedom more important than my freedom to not get sick? I don't understand that idea that I'm taking away their freedom. They are basically taking my freedom away by not getting vaccinated. Can I get an amen on that?
So,
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen.
Sarah?
Amen.
Thank you.
What? They offered bribery by lottery tickets, free movie theaters, free tickets to museums, gift cards to Starbucks and others. We offered them bribery. It didn't work, but I guess we have to make threats. Since when is my freedom less important to their freedom? Let me tell you something. It is your God-given right. That's what makes this country so great. Yes, our country is still great, folks, but we're living under a dictatorship of a society. Folks, this is scary stuff. I've been warning my listeners and other people that may listen to this podcast for months that this is going to happen. It will happen. And if it does happen, they will pretty much consider this. Folks, if they are going to threaten you to jab a freaking needle on the side of your arm for a vaccination shot, it is against your liberties, it is against your freedoms, and it is against the constitutional Bill of Rights of this country that our four founding fathers literally signed their death threats, that they knew that this was the ultimate cause to secure our freedoms and our liberties across this great nation. What we are seeing is tyranny. We are seeing traitors amongst our federal government going against that cause that our four founding fathers had signed hundreds of years ago. Folks, this is against our Constitution. You cannot be forced to take, yes, a ping on that one. You cannot be forced to take a vaccination amongst your free will. It is your body, your choice, not the federal government's choice. With that being said, folks, I'm going to take a quick little commercial break, and we'll be right back after these words. Don't touch the dial. Hey folks, this episode today is sponsored by Degree Motion Sense Dry Spray. Folks, this stuff is great. It doesn't leave any marks like white or yellow, stain marks on your clothing. It is by the company Degree, which if anybody knows, they do make deodorants, but this happens to be their dry spray. So if you're out and about, you don't have enough time to, pretty much stop at the house or wherever and, get the underarm deodorant going, and you need to get rid of that funky, nasty, sweaty smell to you, use the Degree Motion Sense Dry Spray. It's ultra clear, black plus white, anti-yellow stains and white marks. So it's not going to leave any stains or white marks on any of the black or white clothing. I happen to use this from time to time. It's an excellent product. So check them out today. They have a new look. They're available all over the place. Walmart, Target. You can find these in convenience stores, even pharmacies such as Walgreens and CVS. Check them out today, guys. They're super affordable. Degree Motion Sense Dry Spray. Check them out. You'll love it.
We have to get back to work. We have to get back to work. And we have to get back to work now. And we have to spread this message, or we're going to spread the virus. And we have to get in those communities, and we have to knock on those doors, and we have to convince people and put them in a car and drive them and get that vaccine in their arm. That is the mission. And while everyone else in the country is saying, oh, boo, the sky is falling, the numbers are going up, New York is going to say, yeah. And that means we're going to get ourselves in gear, and we're going to get the job done. And the people who are with us today will be on the front lines, and the people who are in this room will be on the front lines, and I will be there with you. We went from the highest infection rate to the lowest. Now let's show this nation how to stop the spread of COVID among an unvaccinated population.
What the hell was that all about? You have a Democrat, I don't care if he's Democrat or Republican. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't be a party issue. But you have a governor of a state of New York, literally on camera, saying that we must knock on doors, put people in cars, drive them, and get that vaccine in their arm. You are going to force people against their own free will to put a vaccine in their arm if they choose not to? Folks, is this like 1920s, 1930s Nazi Germany? Folks, is this America? I don't know. I like to know where it gone, because I'd like to take a rope, tie it around, and bring it back into this country. Where has Lady Liberty gone? I mean, folks, where has America gone? Where has the excuse me, where has the spirit of this country gone? Where has the same patriotism that we've seen from September 11, 2001, when this country was so united than ever before? Where has the pride of being an American gone? Folks, we are living in scary, crazy, chaotic times where you have politicians such as governors, mayors, senators, even the president and vice president themselves, literally throwing this vaccine down our throats. Oh yeah, they tried the bribery. Didn't work because people don't want it. They care less about a gift card to a grocery store or a movie theater or a coffee shop. They can care less. It's their God-given right, folks, if they want the vaccine or not. Now they're going to levels of extremism. And I hate to say it, folks, but I think they're going that level where they want and they are trying to force you to get the damn shot. Folks, if we have a constitution in this country that protects our liberties and freedoms, and it is not being used accurately, do we really have a constitution in this country to begin with? I think people need to answer that question. Folks, we need answers in this country. What the hell is going on? Why is this country, why is this government so high on getting people vaccinated? I don't think it's about a disease or a pandemic or a virus. I think it's about something else higher than that. We just haven't figured it out. Where is this country going, folks? Crazy, crazy times. Folks, this is nuts. This is crazy. I never thought in my wildest dreams that we would come to this level as a nation. We all knew this was going to happen. Former President Trump warned us that if Biden gets into office, you will see the likes of things that you would never imagine happen in our country, such as open borders, domestic terrorism, crimes at an historic high, poverty at an historic high, high unemployment levels. The economy is crap. Folks, this nation is going down the shithole very, very, very quickly. What will we have to do to take back our country? Where do we have to go to get it back? Well, the 2022 midterms are coming up. That's a start. Shortly after that, 2 years later, we'll have 2024, the general election. Folks, we have 3 years. 3 years, not only to secure our democracy and to take back our freedoms and liberties, but we must look at avenues. We must look at certain things correctly, because if we do not make wise choices with our votes come the 2022 midterms and the 2024 general election, we will lose this country forever. Folks, I'm not just saying that as a political message and as a political conservative podcast host, but it's the truth, folks. We need to secure this country and save our democracy before it's lost forever.
Remember? She benefited from a famous political name. She sided with Nancy Pelosi and attacked President Trump when he was in office. She supported impeachment, and she continues to attack President Trump today. Hillary Clinton? No. Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney is wrong about Trump, and she's wrong for Wyoming in Congress. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Taking a lot of heat from your Republican colleagues for joining this committee. Kevin
Hey, folks, I have a huge announcement. A lot of my listeners here on the Patriot Angle podcast, along with my loyal listeners of the Patriot Unfiltered Nation here, have been asking me, Mike, you need a store. Well, your problems have been solved. We now have a storefront. Yes, the Patriot Angle podcast, with the help of some friends and others here on the Patriot Angle podcast, have developed and created a store. Yes, you can catch that store website on my Facebook page, the Patriot Angle podcast, as well as the merchandise being uploaded on Instagram. Check us out there on our social media platform, Facebook, and you can catch all of our current merchandise along with some really good hot selling merchandise on there. Guys, you got to check it out. The prices are not that bad. If you want to support this podcast and show your patriotic pride, you got to check out the merchandise. You got to check out the store. It's phenomenal, guys. Check it out today. Patriot Unfiltered store. The Patriot Angle Podcast on demand. Hey guys. This show, I'm getting into a lot of heated topics here on the show. Folks, I don't know where to start. Literally, these Democrats, these radical Democrats of leadership, literally have our freedom at the palms of their hands. They are literally forcing everything down our throats with masking, social distancing, vaccinations. Our freedoms, folks, I can't say it more than enough, are being hijacked from this radical federal government. Folks, this is a nightmare of what's going on. Check this video out. Biden snapping at a reporter. Oh God, you gotta listen to this. Check this out, guys. This is nuts. Literally nuts. Oh my God. What is going on with our country? Oh boy. Well, I mean, literally, Biden snapping at a female reporter? Like, if it was Trump, oh God, he would be considered a male chauvinist. He would be considered an evil man. Why is he yelling at the reporter? Biden, literally, it's nothing. It's nothing. Yeah, it's nothing.
Answer your question. Yes, Veteran Affairs is going to, in fact, require that all docs working in facilities are going to have to be vaccinated.
Thank you, guys. Let's go.
And to deal with ISIS as it arrives. But we are not going to be, by the end of the year, in a combat mission.
Mr. Veterans Affairs is going to have a mandate.
You are such a pain in the neck, but I'm going to answer your question because you've known each other for so long. It has nothing to do with Iraq. The answer, no. I'll answer your question. Yes, Veteran Affairs is going to, in fact, require that all docs working in facilities.
Whoa, listen to more of it. Oh, it gets worse, guys. Listen to more of this crap.
I'm genuinely complimenting her. That's okay. That's all right. That's all right. No. Let him talk. That's okay.
Ain't that funny, guys? They can't even literally control their own supporters. Biden has supporters? Wow, isn't that a shock? Yeah, there's less Biden supporters at his own little convention, rally, whatever the hell you want to call it. There's now we know that this general election was a fraud to begin with. It doesn't even have supporters. Yeah, the supporters are the made-up supporters that are electrically, digitally manufactured that we seen last year. That's his real supporters. Yeah, they're all digitally manufactured. Bunch of robots. That's his real supporters. Bunch of digitally robotic voters that voted him in. Yeah. Guys, I know I'm plugging in a lot here on the show. I normally don't do it, but guys, you need to hear the truth. This is truth that you, literally facts that the mainstream media is not reporting on. They're not reporting on any of what I just put into today's show. They won't. You will never hear mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, CBS, all those networks, they won't report on it. You know why? Because they work for the big man. Because if Biden and the radical left machine says don't broadcast it on your network, they'll kiss their ass. They'll bow down to the radical left machine. Literally. We're not worthy. Yes. Wayne's World there. Yeah. Literally. That's what they'll do. Folks, I've had enough of what the hell is going on. In other news, I know y'all heard me mention that the mega pastor, the conservative pastor, the patriotic Christian pastor of this nation, which I completely believe he deserves that title, Pastor Greg Locke out of Nashville, Tennessee, literally giving his view on what the hell is going on. He's getting sick and tired of the federal government trying to lock his church down in Nashville. You got to hear this, guys. Got to hear this. Like I said, this is probably only going to be exclusive on my podcast show, maybe a couple few others that are like me, but you won't hear this on crooked CNN, MSNBC. You won't hear any of that because they won't report on it because they don't want you to hear it. They don't want you to hear it. They are trying to not only kill our democracy, but take religion out of this country to begin with. So I want to plug in this video here from Pastor Greg Locke of his Facebook channel, literally saying that he was going to have an interview with CNN's Cuomo. Yes, he was going to have an interview with them, but they canceled the video. They canceled the interview to begin with because they knew that this pastor was going to expose them for the slugs and slime that they are. Check this out, guys. This is Pastor Greg Locke. You got to listen to this.
Hey guys, Pastor Greg Locke here. Let me just hop on here for a moment, and I want to ask for prayer. I want you to pray for wisdom. I want you to pray for discernment. I want you to pray for courage. And I desperately want you to pray for our protection. I woke up this morning. I'm actually in Florida preaching a youth retreat for our church campers. So my family's down here with me, and about every major newspaper in America is carrying the story of what I said this past Sunday when I said the Delta variant is nonsense. They're going for round 2 of the Democrat lockdowns. And if that takes place, I said, and I quote, if you start showing up under our tent with a bunch of masks, I'm going to ask you to leave. And people have gone melt their face off crazy about it. I mean, I promise you, if you could see hear the voicemails and see the messages that our church is getting right now, it is unbelievable. We have news crews at our campus right now at 2060 Old Lebanon Dirt Road. I'm in Florida preaching. We have news crews at our campus right now doing FaceTimes and Skypes with me, trying to get me to, are you going to dig in your heels? Are you going to stand? What did you mean? I meant what I said. We have 2 banners coming this week. I don't care how mad you get. I'm so over this leftist fear-mongering bullcrap nonsense. I'm done with it. I don't care how mad you get. You can unfollow my page, la-di-da-da. You can never come to the tent again. We need your seat anyhow. We've grown from 300 to 1,200. Now we got to seat 3,000 people in a new tent. To God be the glory, great things he has done. I'm not backing down. I am not backing down. I meant what I said. If you're under doctor's orders, we already know that. Because I'm your shepherd and I love you and I see you all the time. So we get it. We got 2 banners coming this week that says our campus is a mask-free church. Either kindly remove them or sit in your car. You can sit in your car. If you come to our church and you try to protest what I said by wearing a mask, we will escort you to the door. We're not playing. We're a place of faith, not a place of fear. We believe in healings and salvations and baptisms and restoration and revival. We believe in miracles, signs, and wonders, and we're going to talk about all this nonsense like, everybody's got to sit 6 feet apart and you got to wear a mask. We will not allow it. We're a mask-free campus. That chaps your hide, I don't care. We're a mask-free campus. So Washington Post, the Charlotte Observer, everybody in Nashville, Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 5, Fox 17, everybody is blowing our phone up. And I'm telling you, already the death threats are ridiculous. Our cell phone is what our church phone is, right? It's a cell phone. It holds 30 voicemails. It is being filled up every 20 minutes with nothing but F you, F you, F you, you wicked, low-down, sorry guy. I can't believe that you would ask people to walk out of church for wearing a mask. I can't believe pastors put up with this nonsense. I can't believe they keep letting them do this to us, taking our rights away. If you want to wear a mask, wear one all day long, right? Wear one in your car, wear one in your house, wear one on the job. But when you come to church, by all means, you either believe in fear or faith. You don't have it both ways. You don't have it both ways. I don't need your friendship, right? My book's not called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's called This Means War, and I'm done with it. Man, this nonsense is nonsense. I'm done with it. So here's why I need your prayer. CNN reached out. Okay, they've been to our church 6 times. I get it. This is different. Tonight, Chris Cuomo wants to have me on his Cuomo primetime at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. I'm preaching in Florida, but I'm going to set up a Skype here in my RV and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Cuomo primetime. So Cuomo, they wanted me to be in a studio because they're afraid they're going to get so heated that I'm going to hang up. Oh, I assure you, I'm not going to hang up. And I can assure you that they are not going to be happy that it's live. L-I-V-E, live. I've been wanting to get on CNN Live for a long time. There's some truth bombs that I'm dropping to the nation. I don't care what they say. They're not backing me in a corner. Okay, if they want Joel Osteen on their program, that's cool. But if they think I'm going to get the Baptistic Porky Pig Syndrome, they got the wrong one. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't care what they bring up. They can bring up my past. They can bring up all the hateful, wicked, vile, demonic things people say about me. But they want to talk about how can a pastor, get this, Cuomo, how can a pastor tell people not to wear a mask at church? He's killing people. Really? I hope they phrase the question that way because I want to remind him and the nation that his wicked, evil, demon-possessed brother killed a whole lot of old people in nursing homes using COVID, and don't nobody in the Democrat Party want to investigate that nonsense, but they want to say something about a hillbilly pastor in Nashville because I don't want 1,000 people under our tent wearing masks. Well, guess what? Tonight, we're going to drop some bombs. Remember that old skating rink song? You drop the bomb on me. Well, I got news for you. We dropping some bombs tonight. And I'm going to tell them right up front, look, you invited me on your show, not the other way around. So I don't want to hear none of this, oh, the mic's having trouble. Oh, there's Wi-Fi problems. We're having technical difficulties. Oh, no, Jack. No technical difficulties. The technical difficulties are the Democrats are trying to take away our rights, right? Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and Instagram and all these people run by these bunch of communists that I'm talking to right now are trying to deplatform all of us for simply stating the truth. All I said was, we will ask you to leave if you don't remove your mask. And guess what? I'm digging my heels in. I'm not changing my mind. I don't care if that chaps your hide. So tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be on CNN. Hopefully their ratings will be up because I'm on there. I'm telling you right now, they're dead in the water, dry as cracker juice. CNN is a liar. They're fake news, colder than a mother-in-law's kiss. But tonight, I get to go toe-to-toe in the UFC SmackDown ring with Chris Cuomo, one of the biggest leftists on the planet. He's a bully, but he ain't bullying me. He ain't bullying me. So y'all pray for a spirit of John the Baptist to be upon me, and a spirit of Jesus and a spirit of wisdom. I want to be compassionate, but I'm going to be bold. I'm not backing down to their garbage. This crap's gone on long enough. We ain't shutting down our church. I don't care what they say. We ain't social distancing. We're not masking up. We're not. You say, well, I don't like that. Go to another church. Or sit at home and don't go at all. But don't come to ours. We believe in faith. We believe in freedom. This is America. This is America. How about everybody right now in Cuba that's fighting for their rights gets swapped out with all the socialist wannabes in America that don't want freedom? Let's just do a little swip swap. You ever notice that nobody is trying to leave here and go somewhere else, but everybody trying to leave somewhere else and get here? We're still the last bastion of freedom and capitalism, and thank God for it. So CNN, thanks tonight, they're going to back me in a corner and they're going to bully me. I say, bring it on, Cuomo.
God bless this guy. Sorry, guys, I put into like a good 6-minute, almost 7-minute clip. This pastor was lit, on fire. He's fed up. He's fed up what's going on. Guys, this is America. We have liberties and freedom in this country for a reason. Stop being sheep. Stop being sheep. Stop bowing down to these evil dictators of leadership in this country. Did you ever hear a saying from when your grandparents, when you were little boys and little girls growing up, saying, if Tommy tells you to jump off the bridge, are you going to jump off the bridge? No, because what's going to happen, folks? You jump off the bridge, one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to live and you're going to have some broken bones and probably going to be pretty banged up, right? To live and tell the story of it. Or the other thing's going to happen, folks. You're going to die, right? Stop listening to this crazy federal government Stop being, like I said, sheep. Stop being the sheep. Stop kissing ass. Thinking that I'm going to be a good boy and a good girl and a fellow patriot if I jab that vaccine in my arm because I'm saving somebody. Stop listening to that garbage. Stop listening to the garbage saying that if you're not vaccinated, you're going to kill your grandma and your mommy and your daddy. It's not going to happen. And if it does happen, people that are vulnerable to this disease or virus, just like any other virus and disease in this world, are people that have underlying health issues and people that don't have strong immune systems. Sorry, but it's true. You want truth? There it is. I praise this pastor. We need more like him. And by the way, I just wanted to let my listeners know and followers know here on the Patriot Nation, the Patriot Angle podcast here, that that interview, like I mentioned earlier before I plugged this interview in here, this sound clip here on the show, that the interview with Pastor Greg Locke and Chris Cuomo, of CNN, it never happened because they knew he was going to expose the truth. See, they're afraid of that. We need to expose the truth of these morons, these idiots, because that's all they are, folks. They're idiots. The more we stand up and expose the lies, the chaos, and the truth of all this, the faster it goes away, and the faster we secure our freedoms, our liberties back, and the faster we get rid of this radical, democratic, evil machine. That's my closing, folks. With that being said, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Patriot Angle podcast. Thanks a lot, guys. You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle podcast, an Anchor platform.